God gives the Ten Commandments. The Israelites came to the desert of Sinai. The Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the third day, because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people." On the morning of the third day, there was thunder and lightning, with the thick clouds over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet them God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The whole mountain trembled violently, and the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder. Then Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him, "Moses, come to the top of the mountain." So Moses went up to the top of the mountain. "Go down and bring Aaron up with you and put limits around the mountain. The priests and the people must not force their way through to come up to the Lord, or they will die." So Moses went down to the people and told them, and went up to the mountain again. And God spoke all these words within the fire on the mountain. "You shall have no other God before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol in forms of anything. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife or anything that belongs to your neighbor." The Lord proclaimed in a loud voice to them there on the mountain from out of the fire, the cloud and the deep darkness. Then he wrote them on 2 stone tablets and gave them to Moses. Moses stood up between the people and the Lord. The Israelites were afraid of the fire, so they didn't come closer to the mountain. All the leading men of the tribes and the elders came to Moses and said,
"Moses, we have heard his voice from the fire. Today we have seen that a man can live even if God speaks with him. But we will die if we hear the voice of the Lord our God any longer. Go near and listen to all that the Lord our God says. Then tell us whatever the Lord our God tells you." "That's right, Moses. Do it for us. There is no one but you who speaks with God and survives."
Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." Exodus chapter 20, verse 20.